we're going to be doing everything on the floor today, and quite a lot of it will be lying down with our tummies on the floor, simply because we haven't done that in a long time, and it's really good for your core activation and upper back. So let's start simply with 4-point kneeling. Just to activate the core, so we're going to go for a flat tabletop position. And we're just going to do some zip up and hollows, which again we don't do very often in this position. So breathing in and exhale, zip up and hollow. So bringing your pelvic floor up as high as you can, pulling the tummy in and relax. So in this instance, try and keep the spine stable and just pull the pelvic floor up and the belly in. And relax. So just follow your own breath. If you can, do your Pilates sideways breathing. Okay, then we're going to try and do some pelvic tilts in this position. So just very small, like we normally do when we're standing. So tucking the pelvis under and releasing. Careful on the release, because it might pinch the lower spine, more so than standing, I find. So tucking under is quite safe, obviously stretching the lower spine. And then we move to the other direction. Keep your core muscles engaged. That means your lower spine is protected as well. Oh, that's quite good for the tummy muscles. Haven't done that in a while. So then think about that shoulder stability as well. So imagine you are a table. So your arms and legs are the table legs and you're totally stable. So think through your shoulders down into the ground as well. And then we're going to make this movement bigger and bigger. So we're going to go to sad cat position. So really curving yourself as much as you can, so you can look through your legs or into your own belly button. And then coming back to that flat tabletop position. Keeping the tummy under control and coming to the upper back extension, where you push the shoulder blades right down. And repeat. So initiating the tummy, lower spine, pelvic tilt into the sad cat. And flattening out. Pushing the shoulder blades down already as you lengthen, and then coming to your upper back extension. And let's do that a few more times. Stretching the spine long in either direction. Now if you've got somebody who's got a large upper back extension, you might find you're not going to get enough extension, so you might want to come up onto your hands a little bit more, and that gives you a bit more room to play with that upper back extension. Okay, we'll have 2 more. Okay, very good. We're going to go to, not sad cow, right and left cow. So you're going to move your hips round to one side and then see whether you can see your tail. So that's the cow. So not very specific. You could be a flat cow, so your spine stays absolutely straight. Let's do a few of those. So you should almost be feeling that in your obliques on one side, and the other side of the ribs are stretching. And then you could go to the sad cat position and do the cow movement there, which will feel slightly different. So this is now the sad cow. I find with this one, If you want to roll your legs a little bit to the side, so one knee comes off, that's quite nice because you get a stretch on the outer chain of your legs as well. So I'm just tipping to the side. That's it, try and keep the head relaxed. And then we're going to go to the happy cat, under control, and we were happy cow now. That might pinch your spine. If that's pinching your spine, just go back to flat or sad. My mind doesn't pinch, but it stretches in a sort of different direction that I normally can't reach. And again, it goes into the outside of the leg, so you could roll off again. Okay, let's just come off the wrists for a bit, just shake them out. And we're just going to do rolling through. So that is, you're going to go to sad cat, into right cow, happy cat, left cow. So just circling round, let the body ripple through. Lengthen the spine in any direction, and don't forget to engage your pelvic floor and tummy. So really oiling the whole spine in any direction that's possible. Okay, now let's go the other way around. Which is usually quite difficult because we all probably pick the side that sort of feels good for the body, and then reversing it is a bit sort of a brain freeze. Can be, doesn't have to be, but can be. Okay, last circle. Okay, very good. We're going to come into extended child pose. So have your knees a little bit wider, feet together, arms forward. Push the arms down and then lengthen your spine away, relaxing the head down. So we're aiming to bring the chest as close to the floor as possible. So you see my bum is not touching my heels, I'm quite far away. If I allow my bum to touch, I'm not really getting the stretch. So bottoms up. Now again, some people might be really hypermobile in that direction. I'm just going to demonstrate that. So that means the lower spine would really be hanging through. If that's you, then curve your lower spine a little bit so you're getting it more in the upper back. Okay, and relax. We're going to come back to that. We're now going to lie down on our fronts. Okay, so you can put your arms in front of each other, make a little pillow for your forehead. Legs can be either wide and turned out, or closer together and turned in. Whatever sits better in your hips. Yeah, because we've got all different sort of hips. Mine with all the ballet dancing, I definitely want to turn my legs out. Okay, so from here we're going to focus on our pelvic floor and the tummy again. So we breathe in and exhale, zip up and hollow the pelvic floor, and you find your glutes are engaging as well, and then pull your tummy in. Okay, so as we do that movement, you want to push your pubic bone right down into the mat. So I'm breathing in, I'm exhaling, push the pubic bone into the mat, and then pelvic floor and tummy off. So if somebody's very slim, you should now have a hollow underneath your belly, so I can get my hands underneath there. If you're not that slim, then we just go for the as-if version. Okay, so definitely something should have lifted off the ground. And release. So breathing in, exhale, zip up, hollow pubic bone down, lift tummy off, and you find your glutes will engage. And relax. repeating that. So you can test yourself if you put one hand underneath your hip bone, or two hands, any which way. So when you're relaxed, your hip bones are probably touching the ground, okay? So when you do your zip up on hollows, the hip bones will have to come off because your pubic bone pushes forward. So try that again, pushing up, and my hip bones have now left my fingers because my pelvis is tilted. So that's one thing to look out for. Now the other thing, sometimes people are trying too hard, which means your ribs come off the floor, which they're not meant to be. So your whole rib cage should be staying on the floor. So maybe place one hand at your bottom rib, make contact, and then when you do your zip up and hollow, the angle might change slightly. They almost feel like they're pushing down, but they're not coming away from my hands. If I take my arm out, if I let my ribs come away, I'm actually just sticking my bum up, yeah? So your anchor points are your pubic bone and your ribs, and the bit in the middle comes off. Right, let's do two more. Breathing in, exhale, zip up and hollow. And relax. Okay, so we're going to do our proper upper back extension now. So I think we're going to go for the dart. So you bring your arms backwards beside you, palms up, forehead down. So your bottom half is doing exactly the same thing. Then you're going to lift your arms off the ground, pull the shoulder blades down. It's almost like somebody's pulling your middle finger towards your toes. And then you imagine you've got a marble in front of you, and that marble rolls forward, and your eye line follows the marble, which means I'm now in an upper back extension, but my pubic bone's down and my ribs are down and my tummy is off. And it should be really hard to talk in that position. Okay, let's try that a few more times. So really don't forget to sort of push those shoulder blades down. So bottom half, zip up and hollows, lift arms, push shoulders down, and lowering down. Okay, another thing I'm going to demonstrate, I can't really do this on the floor. I'm going to go sideways. So, you've done your bottom bit and you've pushed your shoulder blades down. Quite often we forget to actually open the shoulder this way, because you can push down but we're still sort of slightly rolled forward. So push your shoulder or your chest muscle, this is your pec minor sitting there. It's still sort of not open, so open this up. Yeah, so if we were to do a few protractions and retractions, we definitely want to be retract when we do our floor exercise. Okay, so let's try that again on the floor. Okay, so bottom half, zips, ups and hollows. Lift the arms, retract the shoulders, send the fingertips away from you, and then come. There we go. Very nice. Keep repeating that. Now if you want to make this harder, then you can float your arms to the side into an aeroplane position. Now I've rotated my palms round over so they come facing to the floor, and go back and recover. And obviously the higher you bring up your arms, the harder it will become. So I can bring my arms all the way forward. You can hear by my voice that this is really hard. This is the moment where your belly is probably going to blob back out, so we need all this control there. Okay, we'll have three more. My glutes are working like mad as well. So zip up, hollow, tummy off, retract, reach, lift. Bring the arms to the side and all the way forward. So if your lower back is pinching, you know you're doing too much. And second one. Yeah, really feels that we haven't done this in a while. We've done loads of stretching for the upper back, but not much strength stuff. So we need to do this more. Last one. Make sure the tummy stays off. Make sure we don't kink the neck. And relax. Oh, this is hard work. Okay, let's stretch out again. So we're going to go into extended child pose. If you have a block ready, you can this time put your hands on the block and go to this extended child pose. Yeah, I find the block makes it a little bit harder, or you get more stretch. Let's rephrase that. Again, so pushing down into the block and then lengthening yourself away. Loose people, making sure you're not arching your lower spine. And make sure your bum's quite high up off your heels. So you can either stay there or you can do little circles around. So I've done 5 circles in one direction, so I'm going to go 5 in the other direction. Okay, and recover. Now going to bring the block to the left side of your body, and we're going to put the right hand down and then the left hand on top. Yeah, so the block is literally on the opposite my left shoulder. I'm going to do the same thing, just slightly more diagonally. There we go. You can relax your head down. Mine's just lying on my ear. You might have to adjust where your block is. And just breathe into that stretch underneath your armpits. You could stay or you could circle again. Okay, let's rearrange the whole setup to the other side. Park your hands. And lengthen down. Oh, one side is much tighter. Now, I would have expected the right side to be tighter because I'm right-handed. Interesting. So stay or circle. Okay, good. Back to the first side. And we're going to play peekaboo. So same thing. And then you're going to rotate round as much as you can. So you can only really rotate much to one side. So rotate round and say peekaboo. And relax. Very good, and rearrange to the other side. Easing yourself in, and then 4 or 5 rotations. And then just put the hands back in the middle, maybe there on the block, and just stay there a moment, nice and relaxed. If you can, sort of lengthen your elbows, breathing into your back. that's comfortable. You can sit on a block or on the floor. So my shoulder blades feel quite stretched now. So we're just going to do one Pilates arm flow to finish. So sitting nice and tall. That's it, arms in peripheral vision and float to the side. Allow for that rotation. And the shoulders should be staying down as we stretch loads. And float them back down. And we're going to do one more time with my eyes closed, so I'm feeling it rather than looking at it. So I'm sitting nice and tall. I imagine the plumb line either side of my body. I imagine I'm maybe having a glass of champagne on top of my head, or a golden thread going through the center of my body. So my shoulders are up, my pecs are stretched, shoulder blades are pointing down, tummy is engaged. And I'm just floating the arms to the side, like I'm expanding my wings. Allow the rotation in the shoulder girdle. So the shoulder blades wing out to the side, but you're not raising your shoulders. And then bring the arms back down in the same way. So I'm going to do that one more time. So this time, think about your spine growing, but the shoulder blades pushing down and widening. And especially as the arms float back down, your spine grows and lengthens. Okay, and then let your eyes back open if you had them closed. And let's do a yogic finish. It's quite a sort of yogic seat, isn't it? Namaste. Have a nice day. Well done.